Marielle. Marielle, coming off of a high of a second place win at the International Speech Contest for the teaching level, is our second speaker. Please welcome Marielle.
Maggie sent in her avatar. She wasn't feeling well this morning. Welcome, Maggie. We met Maggie for the first time in doggy prison, the pound. When we entered the kennel area, all the dogs were barking except one. The other differences were there was a pee puddle in her jail cell. And the main difference was of all the other runs in the kennel that were 6 feet high, Maggie's run had a lid on it. Wow, that was interesting. So as we walked and we looked at all the dogs, this dog never barked. She continued being busy with her bone. And then I asked about that thing, and the keeper told us that Maggie could climb out of this run. Wow, this is good. That's the dog I want. Because I wanted to do agility. So, but she had issues. She had a lot of issues. So we asked to see Maggie alone so she could be off leash in a safe area. We did that. We also took her for a long walk. We literally spent the whole afternoon at the doggy prison. And at the end of the day, we decided to take Maggie home with us. When we got her out of the car, she had peed in the car, at the back of the car. And we had a crate for her, and we decided that the best thing to rehabilitate Maggie was for her to sleep in our bedroom. But knowing of her problems of not knowing how to be clean in a house, we knew that she had to sleep in a crate. So we put a crate in our bedroom, and I spent time to stay with her and shut the door and make sure that she understood that we were not abandoning her in there. So she slept in the crate. The next morning, as we got her out of the crate, she peed in the crate and on the carpet. Anyways, to make a long story short, we soon found out that Maggie had a much bigger problem than we thought, and we were not sure that we could handle it. So we devised a strategy. The other thing I forgot to tell you is it was winter. It was January. It was bitterly cold. It's really hard to house train a dog in the middle of the winter. And to make matters worse, Maggie was a lot bigger than that already. She was already almost 50 pounds. She was a 9-month-old Shepherd Cross. So we started devising a strategy in the morning that I would go downstairs. I would put my boots and my parka, my toque, and my scarf, and my mitts, and I'd tell Hans upstairs, I'm ready! And he would release Maggie, and then I'd try to put the collar on her by the door, and then she would pee on the carpet in front of the door. So we had to devise a new strategy. So I told Hans, I said, if you trust me with this, and this is a dog who didn't trust anybody. But I asked Hans, I said, if you trust me with this, what I will do is I'm going to make a big lasso out of Maggie's leash, and I'm going to open the front door of the house, and I'm going to wait for Maggie to come, and when she comes, I'm going to lasso her. And he says, well, that sounds okay. Are you sure you can do that? I don't know. We'll try. So the next morning, the same thing, the boots and the parka and the toque and the scarf and the mitts. I'm ready! And I had the front door open, and okay, Maggie, okay, Maggie. And I had to touch her, and she peed on the floor again. So it took some practice because I wasn't a very good cowgirl. But eventually, one morning, I finally managed to grab Maggie like this. Out we went. And she peed outdoors for the first time. Yes, good puppy. Good girl. So that was the beginning of Maggie's understanding of house rules. It took a long time. Her major issue is she had completely lost trust in human beings. And because she's a smart dog, she had started offering a behavior that all dogs in the world understand, but humans don't. It's called submissive peeing. And that's why she was peeing everywhere when we touched her. That was her way of saying, I agree, you're the boss. I will submit to you anytime. Please don't hurt me. However, we feel that her previous owner had hurt her, and that's why she totally lost trust. So now I had a big problem. I had to learn to train a dog that I couldn't touch. So how could I do that? And I decided to set up something that would allow Maggie to offer a behavior on her own. And then I would reward her with food. So what I did, come over here, Maggie. Come with me now. Your collar is way too big. So what I did is I took her in a room where she was safe, and I set up something very similar to this. It was a placemat that I set up in the middle of the room, and I had Maggie free, and I didn't tell her anything. Didn't touch her, I didn't say anything. And it's very natural for dogs to explore, which she did. And she explored everywhere, and as soon as she was on there, I had a clicker. So I clicked, and I rewarded her right away. Yeah, Maggie, good dog, good dog. So she started associating her offering different behaviors with a positive human interaction with food from me. And slowly, with repetition of different behaviors, and I would change this strategy. One day, after she had successfully mastered putting all 4 feet on the mat, I would decide to wait and see if she offered something else. And sure enough, once she got the idea, she was very eager and willing to offer different kinds of behaviors. She would try lying down, she would just put her front down on, she would sit on it, and I would decide if that was the behavior I wanted. I would reward it once. And then once she did it again, I would reward again. And so on and so forth until she started realizing that she could actually be rewarded by a human being and start trusting again. So Maggie started off as the worst dog we ever owned to being the most awesome dog we've ever owned. And she's really sorry that she couldn't be here this morning. Thank you for your time.